Minister Young says TT Venezuela dragon gas deal continues. Scarborough market vendors protest against illegal vending. Leroy George to contest the general election as an independent candidate. And a woman is left traumatized after using the restroom at Lowlands Mall. Good evening. I'm Kristen Salandi. Welcome to the Tobago Updates television news for Thursday, 27th of March, 2025. Now to our top story. Prime Minister Stuart Young traveled to Kingston, Jamaica on Wednesday for bilateral talks with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Speaking at a post-cabinet press briefing earlier this evening, Prime Minister Young confirmed that Trinidad and Tobago will proceed with the dragon gas deal following discussions with Secretary Rubio on its strategic importance.
I did raise the point that our OFAC for dragon is in October. Secretary of State Rubio said, "Stuart, well, Prime Minister, that is some time off from now. We are going to continue to work with you, etc." Nobody's going to give that blanket commitment at this stage. But I emphasize, he said, I'm not going to harm Trinidad and Tobago after hearing how important it was for us.
Although the Office of Foreign Assets Control license is set to expire in October, Young noted that discussions on the matter are ongoing. He also reaffirmed that Secretary Rubio assured Trinidad and Tobago would not be adversely affected.
With the dragon, we are continuing. So I have been constantly engaged with Shell. We haven't slowed down. And that was the message yesterday as well. We are proceeding full speed ahead. And understand, please, as our largest trading ally, the effects this can have if it doesn't happen. And Secretary of State Rubio was very, very clear that he appreciated the opportunity to hear from us firsthand and from the Prime Minister firsthand on that and the effects it would have. And he kept emphasizing, we are not going to harm Trinidad and Tobago.
Young also stated that despite ongoing discussions with the U.S., the Trinidad and Tobago government continues to engage the Maduro-led administration in Venezuela.
I remain engaged with the Venezuelan government at a very high level, and that conversation doesn't stop. At this stage, there's nothing in particular for me to speak to him about.
Tensions flared outside the Good News Seventh-day Adventist Church in Scarborough as market vendor Lydia Joseph of the Scarborough Market Vendors Association protested against roadside seller Antonia Sylvester, accusing her of unfair competition. Joseph insists Sylvester should relocate to the Scarborough market and pay the required fees. Reporter Joshel Dan has this story.
Scarborough market vendor Lydia Joseph protested outside Good News Seventh-day Adventist Church, accusing vendor Antonia Sylvester of diverting customers from the market. She insists that Sylvester should relocate to the market, pay fees, and compete fairly.
But competition is healthy, all right? So come in the market and force people that you think that goods is too high, you understand? And let me come to my house and help the people out, okay? Competition is very healthy. Yeah, right? Because if you have something for $10 and I'm selling it for $12 and you selling yours, eventually I'm going to bring it down to $10. That's all I'm saying.
Joseph believes Sylvester's vending is illegal and has reported the matter to the authorities.
We have laws and rules, and the law of the land say you cannot sell within 1.5 miles, 2 miles from the market. Follow the law of the land. We are just some lawless people. You understand what I mean? We have to follow the law of the land.
Brian Elder, a foreign vendor, criticized Joseph's actions, arguing that the Scarborough market is inefficient for generating sales, leaving vendors with no choice but to sell along the roadside.
We're not supporting we own. We're supposed to support we own, but we're crawling about it and protesting about it, all because the market is not working. The market ain't working a long time ago because other people took away that from us long time ago, and they're not from here. The people who took away the market goods not from here, they're from other places and people supporting them 24/7, and the locals who has the thing in the market, they don't go there again. So what we expect me to do? We have to come out on the side of the road and sell too.
But Sylvester, who travels from Trinidad to Tobago twice a week to sell produce, has been vending at her current spot since December 2024 without prior complaints. She believes her lower prices makes goods more affordable for Tobagonians.
We sell at the best price possible, the cheapest way possible, just in order to let everybody get something to eat, because at the end of the day, how to say, food cheap right now. So, and I came over here some time ago when I came to buy cheap 5 pimento for $10. That was ridiculous. So it encouraged me now to come and give poor people like myself a way to get cheap food now. So when I come over, I look for $1 and I am contented.
Tobago Updates reached out to Natisha Charles Panton, the Secretary of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. She shared that the police have the right to remove vendors within a certain radius of the Scarborough market. She also stated that there are currently booths available at the market for vendors to sell produce. Joshel Dan, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Among the political parties fielding candidates for the Tobago West seat, one individual hopes to contest as an independent, Leroy George. Having previously worked with political parties, George has since realized that party politics is not for him. He believes his ongoing advocacy will resonate with those disenchanted by party elections, earning their support and a seat in Parliament. More from reporter Candice Jackson.
Once a member of the PDP and more recently the IDA, Leroy George has lost faith in party politics.
Where democracy is concerned, the collective is supposed to be engaging in brainstorming that would bring about exponential change, positive change. But instead, what oftentimes happens is that the vast majority of the individuals in that collective have to basically shut down that supercomputer, which is their brain, in order to follow one particular narrative.
He plans to run for the Tobago West seat as an independent candidate, believing this will give him an advantage over the political parties.
That is one thing that gives me an advantage, just as I mentioned before, the freedom of speech, the freedom of expression. It allows for narratives. I remember just yesterday my uncle was telling me about all the endless things that you need for election. You need music truck, you need billboard, you need this, you need that. I say don't need any of those things. Votes win elections and narratives win votes. And so the freedom that comes with being an independent candidate, that's going to be an advantage also.
This will not be George's first attempt to win the favor of voters. In December 2021 THA elections, he contested the Lambo Lowlands seat under the IDA and secured 17 votes.
I got a little bit of support in the last THA elections, got support when I was elected into different positions in a major political party before that, etc. And persons would have seen the amount of representation I would have been able to give. One would remember
PNM Shamford Cajole Lewis won the Tobago West seat in 2020 with over 9,200 votes. George has a significant challenge ahead to increase the 17 votes he secured in Lambo Lowlands and to expand his support across the entire Tobago West constituency to beat Cajole Lewis, who is seeking another term and has strong support. However, George remains undeterred. If successful, he promises to support efforts for greater autonomy for Tobago or even develop legislation on his own to further that cause.
I'm going to bring a bill to Parliament that consists of only those things that are held common in the UNC bill and the PNM bill. That way, I put pressure on both individuals, both political parties.
Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
We'll take a break and come back with more. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival on April 19th, 2025. We invite you to an evening of smooth rhythms and soulful music as the sun dips behind Buku Bay. Let all your senses be tantalized. Enjoy an array of seafood dishes, browse crafts and designs created by local artisans, and lose yourself in the soulful melodies of John Sakata, Brian McKnight,
It's undeniable that we should be together.
Vonnet Bigford,
When the lightning crack the waters and the waves roll and break.
Mikal Tasia,
Where else I go,
best of Tobago's talent. Get your physical tickets now. Tickets are also available online at islandetickets.com. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info or call 639-4441. The Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival, April 19th at Buku Integrated Facility. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
Thanks for staying with us. Shari Sharper took to Facebook after a frightening encounter with a man whom she described as having the mannerisms of a mentally ill person after he entered the female washroom at the Lowlands Mall yesterday.
I saw these dark hands on the floor right outside the area that I was using. So, of course, I screamed. I screamed so loudly. I told him to move. I continued screaming. And I remember at some point, because I was a bit hesitant to open the door for fear that, I'm going to allow the person to come in on me.
Sharper was comforted by a woman sitting in the food court and a security guard.
I saw a lady sitting in the food court, but before all that, I heard a commotion. So I'm not sure if he fell while trying to run away, or I'm not sure if the noise that I heard was him going into another, the male toilets, or I do not know if he tried to exit through the back door. If he did, in fact, exit through the back door, and apparently the security officer said that's what he did.
She is calling on citizens to assist in finding the man responsible to prevent a similar occurrence.
This pervert should not be allowed, this peeping Tom should not be allowed to do it again. And my thing is, somebody, can you please share his name, place of abode, just so that the officers can pay him a visit and warn him that he should not be allowed, even on the mall again, and to do stuff like that. That's a violation. I feel so violated today. I'm so angry.
We contacted the mall's management for comment on the matter, but all of our calls went unanswered. Seniors deserve to live with dignity just like everyone else. This belief inspired 2 retired health professionals to open the Copper Canyon Wellness Center, an assisted living facility for seniors. More about it in this story from Candice Jackson.
Seniors' lives matter.
Retired health professional Marilyn McFarlane studied and worked in several countries before returning to Trinidad and Tobago in 2006.
Having worked in many hospitals and homes and seen the care given to seniors must be improved, the idea of a place for seniors care was born.
She partnered with Dr. Listra Antoine, who shared similar experiences and a passion for senior care. Together, they founded the Copper Canyon Wellness Center, an assisted living facility offering amenities and services tailored to meet the diverse needs of its residents.
I wanted a place where independent and assisted living became a passion and not just a job, where right care and attention at the right time is possible, where seniors look forward to the new day every day. We're making the day a positive, memorable experience.
Essentially a place where seniors could thrive.
Seniors have a wealth of knowledge just locked away in their heads. Let us help them to share it with us.
Located in Idlewild, the facility falls within the electoral district of Darrell Spring Wim. Its opening has excited District Representative and Minority Leader Kelvin Morris.
Already my mind is going, working up a storm in terms of the things that we can also bring to the table to ensure that the residents of this electoral district is able to benefit and to also play a part in the development of this care facility.
Meanwhile, Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith Brebner, was impressed not only by the quality of the facilities, but also by the commitment to setting it up correctly.
They have been reaching out to everyone saying, we are about to do this, allow us to follow all of the rules. Tell us what the rules are. Tell us what the regulations are.
Dr. Brebner was also pleased that this new service in Tobago contributes to raising the standard of living for citizens.
Copper Canyon Wellness Center is helping to make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet.
The facility can accommodate up to 30 living residents and also aims to create a space for seniors in Tobago to socialize. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
You're watching the Tobago Updates Television News. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. More news and the weather report after this.
You've heard a voice on the radio, seen her in your worship, and have sung her songs during your time of praise. Sinesh.
Everybody now, let's go!
Sinesh comes to Tobago for Melodies from Heaven on April 17th. The Shore Park Complex alights with praise and worship from 6 p.m. for Melodies from Heaven featuring Sinesh.
I shall not want.
Samuel Maydess.
You'll be the only one who's excited to call your name.
Positive.
Me never could have changed my mind.
Blessed Messenger.
Give blood of Jesus over your family.
Renee Fortune and many more.
From my head to my feet.
Get your physical tickets now. Tickets are also available online at islandetickets.com. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info or call 639-4441. April 17th at Shore Park Complex. Melodies from Heaven. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our wellness center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrell Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrell Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438. 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 49 Swift 4979 438.
Scott's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Welcome back. The central government is being accused of preventing Caribbean Airlines from increasing domestic and international airlifts to the A.N.R. Robinson International Airport. Tashia Boris, Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, made this claim during Minority Leader Kelvon Morris's questioning in the Assembly Legislature today. Morris pressed Boris on why the THA has been unable to secure more flights to Tobago. She explained that the THA was engaged in intense negotiations with the airline to expand airlift since the central government owns CAL.
And after months of back and forth, months of negotiation, Caribbean Airlines sent back to tell the Tobago House of Assembly that they did not receive clearance from their uppers, aka politics, aka central government shut it down.
Boris urged Morris to leverage his political connections within the PNM to push for action in Tobago's best interest.
So maybe you should go to your handlers in Trinidad and indicate to them that Caribbean Airlines operations are still paid for by the taxpayers of Tobago. So that even before we start to go to other airlines outside of Trinidad and Tobago, Caribbean Airlines has a mandate to serve both Trinidad and Tobago and to assist Tobago in growing its tourism market above all other destinations in the Caribbean.
Regarding efforts to attract other international carriers to Tobago, Boris explained that the THA has no authority to approve new airlifts.
Because the Tobago House of Assembly does not enjoy the autonomy that we should, this Assembly cannot sign on the dotted line for new airlift if we don't have control of civil aviation, which is under the remit of Ministry of Works and Transport Trinidad, and we also do not have the funding.
However, Boris reported that the THA is making progress in negotiations with 2 carriers already licensed to operate in the country, with hopes of finalizing agreements by the end of this fiscal year. Additionally, discussions are ongoing with 2 other airlines interested in flying to Tobago, and she hopes that the Trinidad and Tobago Civil Aviation Authority will grant the necessary approvals when the time comes. Now for a look at the weather update from the TNT Met Office. Tonight is expected to be initially fair and at times breezy, with a few showery spells mainly towards dawn. Tomorrow, a few spotty showers favoring the early morning period will interrupt a generally sunny, slightly hazy and breezy day. A mostly fair night is expected apart from the odd shower after midnight. Daytime temperatures are set to reach 31 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 34 degrees Celsius. Seas moderate with near 2.5 meters in open waters, and 1 meter to 1.5 meters in sheltered areas. Sunrise is at 6:02 and sunset is at 6:30. The Met Office says a milder concentration of Saharan dust is in the atmosphere. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Here's a recap of the headlines. TT Venezuela Dragon gas deal continues. Scarborough market vendors protest against illegal vending. Leroy George to contest the general elections as an independent candidate, and a woman is left traumatized after using the restroom at Lowlands Mall. I'm Kristen Salandi. Thank you so much for joining us and have a great night.